Hey guys, it's Anime Alternates here, and this is What If Naruto Had Ice Release Part 5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's not much for me to say before the actual video starts, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, roll the intro. Team 7 was once again back in the Hokage's office. The thing that was different this time was Sasuke was whining to the Hokage for a higher mission. Meanwhile, in the background, Sakura was cheering him on. Kakashi was reading his book, like normal. Iruka was reprimanding Sasuke for his blatant disrespect to the Hokage. Naruto was just thinking about whether or not his outfit change would be beneficial in stealth and fighting. He was currently wearing gray Anbu camo pants, taped at the ankles with white bandages, and shinobi sandals like Tobirama. He was also wearing a dark gray kimono tied at the waist with a thick black rope that ended in a bow tie at the back. Think Sasuke's purple rope belt, but in black. He'd also grown his stark white and black hair over his left eye, leaving his right one exposed, and with a scar running over the eye, it made it look quite intimidating. Side note, if you guys don't remember what Naruto looks like, I described what he looked like pretty early in part 1. Anyway, back to the story. He was snapped out of his thoughts when Sakura turned to him. "Naruto, help Sasuke get a higher mission," she screeched. Naruto turned to look at her and didn't say a word. As soon as their eye in Naruto's case, met hers, she shrank back from his gaze. Naruto then returned to looking off into space. "Kakashi," Hiruzen said suddenly, "do you think Team 7 is ready for a C-rank mission?" Kakashi thought for a moment and looked at each of the team members of Team 7. Naruto could probably handle threats from high tuning level to low jonin level. Sasuke could probably handle low to mid tuning level, and Sakura unfortunately couldn't handle anything other than a toddler, Kakashi thought, before saying, "Yes, I think we should be able to handle the C-rank mission." Hiruzen looked pleased and was about to say something, but stopped and turned to Naruto. "Naruto, I need to be sure that you won't threaten the clients if they bother you," Hiruzen said. "I won't threaten them unless it's something really serious," Naruto replied in a flat tone. Hiruzen sighed, seeing as this was probably the best he was going to get. "Call in the bridge builder," he said. Time skip. The next day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Team 7 and Tazuna were heading towards the land of waves. Naruto and Kakashi were in the front, while Sasuke and Sakura were in the back. Tazuna was in between them, his eyes darting around shiftily. Something that did not go unnoticed by either Naruto or Kakashi. As they walked for a few more minutes, they came across a puddle of water. Clear sky, relatively hot weather, no smell of rain, and hasn't rained in a week. Naruto thought, as they say, if it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, and talks like a duck, then it definitely isn't chicken. This is most definitely a trap. He continued going, but as he passed by the puddle, he made sure to step into it and froze it, pulsing chakra into his feet. As he did this, he froze the puddle, and the puddle slightly cracked before expelling 2 shinobi dressed in dark gear. Most likely assassins, Naruto thought. They were shivering, even though they were unconscious. Naruto walked up to them and dragged them to a tree before tying them there with ninja wire. "I would like to know why you have rogue ninja after you, Tazuna," Naruto said, quietly. As soon as he finished talking, the temperature dropped severely. The cold seemed to be radiating outwards from Naruto. Tazuna started saying. "It would be in your best interest to tell me the truth," Naruto snapped. "I'm not above forcing the truth out of you in some unpleasant ways. You endangered me and my teammates as soon as you did that, any form of restraint that I would have shown has evaporated." Kakashi just watched the proceedings carefully. He knew Naruto would probably follow through on his threat, even if it meant torturing Tazuna to get the answers out of him. That fact kind of creeped Kakashi out. But then again, who was he to talk? He was killing people in the Anbu at the age of 13. 15 minutes later, Team 7 was back on the road again. That was when Naruto felt it. A chakra signature similar to his own, but completely different. While Naruto's chakra felt like snow, due to his use of snow and temperature controlled jutsus, he more often than not didn't use. While Naruto's chakra felt like snow due to his use of snow and temperature controlled jutsu, more than actual ice jutsu, this chakra felt sharp like ice and somehow conveyed a feeling of speed. It sparked Naruto's curiosity, and two thoughts flashed through Naruto's head. Curiosity killed the cat, and the future belongs to curiosity. Naruto decided to act on the last saying. He relaxed slightly and waited for the person to get closer. Naruto could tell that this person was fast, unreasonably so, but if he could get off one hit, it would slow the person down. Half Naruto's jutsu were inhibiting, meaning they affected the target over a longer period of time. This inhibiting feature of the jutsu was very similar to how a Komodo dragon hunted. All they needed to do was get a little bit of the saliva into the target's bloodstream, and even if the target got away, they would collapse after a while. The figure never came within 200 feet of them, and was actually quite attentive. They moved at the exact same rate as Team 7. Then Naruto felt another signature ahead. Ambush, he thought. Naruto slightly parted his lips and whispered to Kakashi without moving his face. Kakashi-sensei. Ambush. Mid to high Jonin level ahead and high Chunin level behind us. I suspect the one behind us is an ice user. Request to engage. Kakashi thought to himself for a second before nodding ever so slightly. Naruto smiled again and relaxed. After about a minute, the person behind them decided to venture just a tiny bit closer. Now they were within 90 feet of them. That slight shortening of the distance between them was all Naruto needed, and he struck. 1 second he was talking to Kakashi, the next he was gone. By the time he got to where the other person was, they were gone. Nice reflexes, Naruto thought. A worthy adversary. However, he did see a mist hunter nin mask. A good attempt at disguise, but the mist is in the middle of a civil war, Naruto thought, as he gave chase. As he was running, he enjoyed the feeling of wind racing over his skin. He then noticed that the person was leading him away from his team, and before he could stop, the person turned around and raced towards him. Naruto smiled savagely. He had a few very powerful long-range jutsu, but this person could easily dodge them. They made the mistake of trying to engage him in close combat. While he might not be able to hit them from a distance, he was an absolute juggernaut in close combat. Back with Team 7. 5 minutes later. Kakashi stood facing off against Zabuza. They are both tensing up, ready to spring at a second's notice. Just as they're about to attack each other, an explosion of metal striking metal noise erupted in the forest to their left. It continued for a few minutes, before Naruto and the fake hunter nin appeared in between them, both covered in cuts and clearly exhausted. They were also panting heavily. Naruto had multiple ice needles sticking out of him, and the fake hunter nin had multiple patches of ice on different areas of their body. Props to you, Naruto said. You are quite powerful. You too, the masked person replied. Naruto couldn't get any read on the gender of this person. Their voice sounded neither male nor female, but Naruto could tell that they were disguising it. It made getting information on the person all the more harder. Naruto and the other person tensed up slightly before beginning to collapse to the floor. Kakashi caught Naruto, and Zabuza, who Naruto had identified before passing out, caught the other person. Saved by the bell, Kakashi, Zabuza said, picking up the hunter nin. It appears we'll have to postpone this fight. Kakashi nodded, and when they were gone, he turned to look back at a passed out Naruto, who he was keeping from falling to the floor. Whoever this masked person was, Kakashi thought, they're strong. To be able to force Naruto to a stalemate was impressive. We'll need to be better prepared next time. Anyway guys, thanks for listening. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.